And we are.
Welcome to Com Nation. We are so glad you're here.
We are. Absolutely. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us.
So, hey, Flash.
Oh,
Um,
sorry.
wrong Flash.
We'll still save everyone.
The CW show was great, and it's available in syndication and whatnot and streaming.
Yep.
The movie is about 2 seconds from premiering. People are saying it's good. And we wanted to talk about Flashpoint because if you only know the Flash, the current TV show and the upcoming movie, you may not know that a lot of the story elements came from
Flashpoint.
Which was a huge. It wasn't just a graphic novel. It was what do they call it? It was a universe event that spanned all across DC. There's a bunch of books about it. We're focusing on the Flashpoint, and specifically the first book.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah.
And if you're joining us live, and we hope you are, please. This is the criteria to play the trivia along with us. If you're not joining us live, we're still really happy you're here. And hey, we do this most Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Maybe you can try to make it next Tuesday, but if not,
you can always join us afterwards.
Exactly.
And no matter what, tweet us, like us, ping us.
Do you like us? Do you really like us? Yeah. And hey, share, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, share with your friends, share with your neighbors.
Yeah. Share with the people in the other universes that you know.
Alternate timelines.
It's a thing.
All right. You ready to start?
I'm ready. You ready?
Like Flash, we're always late. The first Flash first appeared in what comic book title? Because there's been a couple of different Flashes.
There are. None of them are real flash in the pans, but all of them.
I was going to make that bad joke, but I just knew Todd was.
You knew you can count on me for that, right?
Yes. The jokes will not improve. Do not send emails, or at least don't send any more emails about how bad the jokes are, because we know. And we're not sorry. But Todd, the first Flash first appeared in...
Ironically, Flash Comics.
Or maybe not so ironic. Now, we're talking about the first Flash, which was what, 1940?
Yep. A couple years after Superman.
Exactly. The first Flash was created by Gardner Fox and Harry Lampert. And this was... Flash is so old that...
How old is it?
This Flash wasn't published by DC. Flash was first published by All American Comics.
Dun, dun, dun. That's right.
So
it became part of national periodicals. And
exactly. And again, this was the first Flash, not necessarily the current Flash, not the only Flash. And in Flashpoint, who's the Flash? Who's the Flash in Flashpoint?
Because there's so many of them.
There are a couple.
There are a few over the years. Yes.
And we'll get into that a little bit. But Todd, who's the Flash in Flashpoint?
That would be Barry Allen.
Yep. And again,
most of us know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the only Flash. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. Barry Allen, he's the Flash in the TV show. He's the Flash in the movie. Right. The alternates, by the way, really quick, Bart Allen is technically Barry Allen's grandson. Don Allen is Barry Allen's son. Henry Allen is Barry Allen's dad.
Yep.
But, the current Flash, the Flash we're talking about, it's Barry.
It's Barry.
By the way, Todd, for no additional points, what is Barry is short for what now?
Bartholomew.
Yeah.
And his middle name is Henry, like his father's. Yes.
Our geek runs deep. We know these things. We know these things. All right, but we're talking about there's a couple different Flashes.
Mm-hmm.
Which in the lineup, how many, which one is Barry? Well, we already mentioned he's not the first.
No, he's not. He's actually the second. Came along in the Silver Age, for those that know what that means.
Now, Todd,
Yes.
there are basically about 5 main Flashes skipping over all of the other speedsters in the DC universe. Can you tell me, for no additional points, who are the 5 Flashes?
Well, so we had Jay Garrick, who was the first one that showed up back in 1940. Barry Allen, who's kind of considered the current one, and the second one. There's a point in time where Wally West took over, was considered the third Flash, before Barry got better and came back. And then Bart, Barry's grandson, who shows back up as the Flash later.
Also known as Impulse.
Yep. And then he graduated and became a Flash.
Yeah,
and then somewhere down the line, there's another person, descendant, whatever else, named Avery. Oh.
Correct. Who I believe was of Chinese descent. And not part, but and then there's Max Mercury, there's Johnny Quick, there's Jesse Quick, there's Celia Allen, there's Danny West, there's a ton of speedsters. But the Flash, not to be confused with Kid Flash, there's only been about 5 of those.
Right.
Or at least as far as we know. If we're wrong, let us know.
Yeah.
We always like to hear when we're wrong.
True.
Now, we mentioned the TV show. We mentioned the movie. Which of these actors has never played the Flash?
That would be Buster Crabbe.
Yes!
Who actually played Flash Gordon.
Exactly. And he was one of those guys. He was Flash Gordon. He was Tarzan. He was Buck Rogers. And you and I were talking. He was the Buck. If you're familiar with the 1950s Buck Rogers cereal that got recut and repackaged, that's Buster Crabbe.
Yeah.
And again, he, along with Johnny Weissmuller, he was one of the Tarzan. He did a lot, and he was awesome.
Yes.
By the way, and we've done Flash before, and we've talked a lot about the various other actors. John Wesley Shipp, he was the Flash in the, 1990 CBS superhero The Flash?
Yes. And then ironically plays Jay Garrick in the new CW Flash.
Exactly.
As a mentor to Barry Allen, played by Grant Gustin.
And Ezra Miller is, of course, in the current DCEU. But my personal favorite, Todd, for no additional points, the 1970s various cartoon things for Flash, including Super Friends and the Superman Flash Adventure Hour or something. Who was the Flash? Who voiced the Flash in these cartoons?
That would be Ted Knight himself, also newscaster for the Mary Tyler Moore Show, as well as the narrator for all those great Super Friends. So anytime you heard that voice of, meanwhile, back at the Hall of Justice.
That was him. And he never changed the voice, I swear. No. Yeah. That's good acting. That's good acting.
Maybe he spoke a little faster as the Flash.
Now, the Flash, he has a distinct lineup of villains. And they don't like to be called supervillains. They don't like to, what do they like to be called?
They like to be called rogues. Lovable rogues.
Yep. Or Rogues Gallery. And these are, there's a lot of weather guys I've noticed. There's Weather Wizard, there's Heat Wave, and then Golden Glider, Abracadabra, Mirror Master, Trickster, a lot of, They
Just because they're all sciencey.
That's true. They say, a hero is defined as his enemies.
Yes.
And that's all. And, and that's part of what makes Flash kind of cool and why we like him.
Yes. He's got all sorts of cool.
So, but Barry doesn't make a living being a superhero.
Nope, he does not.
By day,
Barry Allen is
a
forensic scientist.
Yeah. So
Yes.
both Barry Allen and Jay Garrick have that wonderful origin story that they were like, they both were scientists and they were both doing science stuff. And then they were both essentially like hit by lightning or, had a
lightning bolt strike nearby or something electrical.
Basically, workplace safety was not a high regard. And because of that, they became superheroes.
Yeah.
And what's really fun is every so often, some guy who is, or gal who's dedicated their life to science, etc., will sit there and will reference Barry Allen because, because of science, Barry Allen is a superhero.
Right. Yes.
The more you know.
Which is also one of the reasons why most of his rogues are kind of sciencey guys. Because, yep.
Now, Flash has a mom. She's been, a major
influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with influence. What's her name?
That would be. Oh wait, no, it's not Martha. Although that's somebody's mother's name.
It's not Martha. Is Batman's mother's name, and
wait,
Superman's
I thought Martha
mother's
was Superman's name. Oh right.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
It's Nora.
Yeah, it's Nora. Both Batman and Superman moms, they changed names.
Yes.
At one point, Superman's mom's name was Mary, and Batman's mom was at one point Samantha or Sarah or whatnot. But currently, they're both considered Martha. I'm running the theory they might be the same person. That would make for an awkward family dinner.
Wouldn't it, though?
Yeah. You're not the same person. Do not say that to people. No. Now, at the beginning of Flashpoint, Barry is investigating the murder of...
Dun, dun, dun.
Todd, you know?
I'm going with Miss Alchemy because I recognize the rest of them.
So, Flashpoint. It's not so much an alternate universe, but it is an alternate timeline in the universe we know. Yes. And if you're sitting there, as Todd said, if you're like, wait, I'm not familiar with Miss Alchemy, right. Alternate timeline, but are you familiar with Dr. Alchemy, who I believe even showed up in the CW series?
He did, in some fashion or another, yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
And in this show, there's a Miss Alchemy, so something happened. And Miss Alchemy's been murdered.
Tragically, yes. And as a forensic scientist and a superhero, Barry Allen's trying to find out.
As you do.
As you do.
Another day at the office.
Yeah.
Now, where is this Flash based? Which city? Again, this is the DC universe, so they always make up city names.
Yeah, we don't have the real New York or Chicago or...
But LA. Todd, where's this one?
Barry's from Central City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we always kind of assume might be Chicago.
Yeah, it's Midwestern-y.
Somewhere out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And talking of Central City has a great hero. It's not Flash.
No, not in this timeline.
Who is it?
It is, of all people, Captain Cold. What?
Again, in this timeline, their great hero is Captain Cold, although in this timeline, again, he prefers to be called Citizen Cold.
Right.
And is he truly up to no good? Can we trust Leonard Snart? I'm saying no.
Not always.
But you never know.
But as a rogue, he sometimes does the right thing.
Sometimes.
Usually for the wrong reasons, but who knows?
And again,
Oh,
alternate timeline.
yes.
Harvey Dent, better known as.
Well, in our timeline, Two-Face, but in this timeline, he's a judge.
Yep.
Go figure. Kind of makes sense, because before he became a villain in our timeline as Batman's villain, he was an assistant district attorney, so he was on the track.
But
He
then,
was, yeah.
by the way, hey Todd, who is your favorite actor who ever played Two-Face or Harvey Dent?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because I'm still looking forward to that day when we actually got that portrayal by Billy D. Williams. So
yes, exactly what I was going to say. Do you remember? It was one of the first Batman movies, like full length modern feature movies. And Billy D. Williams for like 2 seconds was Harvey Dent back when he was just a district attorney.
Yep.
Before.
Before. I was looking forward to him playing Two-Face in the next movie, but we got Tommy Lee Jones instead.
Exactly. But Harvey Dent, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there is.
And in this one, he's a judge, probably can see both sides of the argument.
Yes. The scales adjusted.
Again, in Flashpoint, there's a bit of a war going on. We're not
going
to go into it.
No. Read the book, kids.
Yeah, read the book. It's a good book, and there's a lot.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot that's good.
Yeah. Jam-packed.
Yeah. We're talking about the main one, but, that's about Flash. But there's one, I think, I know Superman has one. I think there's a bunch of books that are all about Flashpoint, and most of them are really good.
Yes.
And who is behind Enemy Lines, Todd?
Lois Lane. Doing that investigative reportery, whatever stuff she does.
Yep. She is, in any timeline, in any universe, Lois is almost always an award-winning journalist for whomever she's been. Mostly she's a newspaper. I think she's been a TV anchor at one point.
Over the years, she's always done podcasts. And, but she's all out there trying to get the story, get to the truth, uncover those shady
finding
deals.
Some justice.
Yes.
Now in Flashpoint, we have Shazam, occasionally known as Captain Marvel, who is called what?
In this book, of all things, Captain Thunder.
Yep. Now, hey, if you follow us, and we hope you do, we hope we did Captain Marvel as in Shazam. And we spent a minute sort of explaining in that one the difference between Captain Marvel and Shazam and Ms. Marvel, and that we advise feel free to check. On, always good. But in this one, Shazam, as we're going to call him, so we'll keep it straight, he's called Captain Thunder,
which was one of the original names they proposed for the Shazam character way back at the beginning before they published him, but they didn't use it.
It's well, they didn't.
So,
but in this continuity, in this timeline, Captain Thunder, he's got scars.
Yes.
Who scarred him?
I'm going with Wonder Woman.
So if you think about it, Both Wonder Woman and Shazam get their superpowers from the gods, and actually, technically, I think some of the same gods. So they're, I think it'd pretty much be only Wonder Woman who could hurt him or scar him. And if you're sitting there saying, hang on, wait, it's Wonder Woman. She's one of the good guys. She's a hero. Yeah, read the book.
Yeah. Alternate timelines.
Stuff happened.
Stuff happens.
You know.
Things get tweaked a little. Turned around ever so slightly.
You make a choice, it impacts.
Yes. All sorts.
Here's the other one. Batman.
In
this timeline, Batman isn't Bruce Wayne. Who is he?
He's not John Wayne Pilgrim.
That would be cool. I just want you to spend a minute thinking John Wayne is Batman.
That could be interesting. But no, in this timeline, it's Thomas Wayne.
Now, again, we've talked about Thomas Wayne. If memory serves, and I could be wrong, while Batman's mom was Martha or Mary or Sarah or Samantha, Batman's dad almost always Thomas.
Yes.
And for no additional points, what was Thomas's profession?
Well, initially he was a physician. He was a doctor. Yep.
But the Wayne family's always been super wealthy. So, you know, depending on the story and the timeline and whatnot, Thomas has been very involved in an assortment of industries.
Yes.
You know?
And always trying to help make Gotham a better place.
Sometimes through questionable methods. You should read the book.
Yes. I know how.
And what book is it? It's Flashpoint. Just Flashpoint. It's the Flashpoint. But like I said, there's a bunch of others because this was a huge story arc. And when you read it, you'll recognize elements from the TV show. You'll recognize elements that are being pulled into the movie. You'll like it. You'll get it. It's a good read. You should read it. Now, hey, this is not a dream, says the blurb.
Nope.
This is not an imaginary story. This is not an Elseworld.
Nope.
This is Flash fact. When Barry Allen wakes up at his desk, the world has changed.
Yes.
Family is alive. Loved ones are strangers, and close friends are different on or worse. It's a world on the brink of a cataclysmic war, and Lois Lane's behind enemy lines.
That's right.
But where's the Earth's greatest heroes trying to stop it?
Yeah, where's the Justice League? Where's the Super Friends?
Yeah, exactly. It's a place where America's last hope is a hero that you wouldn't initially think of. And he gathers the forces of Outsider, the Secret Seven, Captain Thunder, Captain Cold, and other new and familiar, but somehow altered faces. Yes. It's a world that is running out of time. If Flash can't find the villain who altered the timeline. Bad guy.
Who could have done that?
That's not a good thing. Do not alter the timeline, y'all. I don't care. I don't care.
Nope.
It's never ends well. So this Flashpoint, this one was written by Jeff Johns, he's an award-winning writer. He's a New York Times bestseller writer. He's done film and TV work, both as a writer, a producer, and a showrunner.
Yep. And way back in the day was an assistant to Richard Donner. And
that's right. We know these things.
Yes.
But let's face it, Jeff Johns, at least in our universe, he's
major architect of DC for a long time.
He's worked with Green Lantern, Aquaman, The Flash, obviously Shazam, Superman, and
Justice Society.
Yeah. And
new life in all those books.
And Jeff Johns was he's the creator, or at least the reimaginer of Stargirl. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
And we did a show about Stargirl. You should check it out.
Yes.
It's again, that was a CW show, but it was a great book and it was fun. And yeah.
Yeah, pretty much if you've liked any of the CW superhero shows, you should go read some of Jeff Johns' work because a lot of it's
inspired by.
Yes.
Because again, and let's face it, Jeff Johns got that film background.
Yeah.
And I think he actually even was involved in the Stargirl TV show.
I think he was, because he helped create that character.
And hey, the art on this book, if you didn't notice, Andrew Kubert.
One of the Kubert brothers, yes.
You know, Andrew Kubert, he's the son of Joe Kubert, as in Kubert School of Comic Book Art. He's the brother of Adam Kubert and the uncle of Katie Kubert, you know.
Yeah.
And
they're a very talented family, much like the Allens.
But the work is great, and it's solid, and it's consistent. And again, he's worked so Andrew Kubert, he's worked for everybody. He's worked for Marvel Comics, doing X-Men and Ultimate Marvel. He's done Batman. What else?
Oh, he did a great Dark Horse DC crossover where he did Batman versus the Predator, which was a lot of fun. And
and he co-created Damian Wayne. That's right.
That's right. Yes.
So again, Flashpoint, The Flash, Book 1. If you like the CW show, if you're liking the movie, you know, you might want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Okay. It's a good, fun, gorgeous read. Can't go wrong. And tonight's winner is...
Dun-dun-dun. Harold Hill for the second week in a row.
Good job, Harold. Nicely done. Way to rally.
Anyway, hey.
Yes.
Thanks for spending some time with us. Again, like, follow, tweet, you know.
Ring the bell. Hit the subscribe.
Come back next week.
Yes.
Play with us live.
Yeah.
Watch the videos if you're not. Recommend us to friends. Tell us what you like. Tell us what we could be doing better.
Tell us what you're reading,
all,
so we can do some fun stuff with new books.
Yep. Because above all,
you should read more comics. Like this one. Read it. Just dash right out.
See you next week.
See you next week.